Breakups in polyamorous relationships function exactly like monogamous breakups. I don't know why there's this misconception that we vote people off, like we're on a council or like we're on an episode of Survivor. That's just not how it works. At the end of the day, relationships are made up of pair bonds, and that's the case even in polyamory. So, for example, if we have 3 people who are all dating each other, and I also want to say, not everyone dates each other. I have partners who have other partners who I've literally only met once. But if we're using the example where 3 people are dating each other, just for the sake of simplicity, there's a unique and different relationship between A and B and C and A, and also one with like the larger group. So if A and B break up, then C can still date A and date B separately. Like, it doesn't just lead to the collapse of the whole thing. Like, if only one relationship is going badly, why does that mean the others have to break up? Like, would you do that with your friends? Like, would you end all your friendships because one was going badly? No. Breakups in polyamorous relationships can be quite complicated because if you're dating one person who's also dating another of your partners, then you might end up in a situation where you are loving a person who also loves your ex, and you have to deal with them having a relationship with your ex. I would compare this to situations where you're in a friend group and you maintain a friendship with one person, but they also are in a relationship with someone that you really, really, really don't like. But at the same time, it also depends on your relationship with your ex. You know, you don't have to hate your ex. Like, you could just be incompatible and then end your relationship knowing that you're not compatible, and it would be fine. I've definitely been in situations where I like broke up with someone, but it was like a smooth breakup. It wasn't like a messy one. It was just like, oh, we're better off as friends, or like just as friends with benefits or whatever. And they were like still seeing my other partners. And it was fine. There was like no drama. So yeah, it does happen, but it's not as bad as you might envision. Yes, because multiple people can break up with you at the same time and leave you alone. Yes, because you might have to be in a situation where you break up with one person but not with another. And if those 2 people are dating each other, then you have to deal with the person you love also loving your ex. And yes, because even if you break up with one person, you still have to maintain your other relationships. And if you're one of those people who just wants to like sink into a hole and cry forever, that might be super difficult for you. But on the other hand, if you have a breakup, you have multiple people to lean on and get support from, and who can talk to you and affirm you and, you know, just do all the things that your friends normally would if you broke up with someone in a monogamous relationship. But generally, I would say that breakups are less messy in polyamorous relationships if they're handled well, and people tend to de-escalate their relationships to friendships rather than have a total clean break. One of my exes is one of my closest friends, and after we broke up, we actually maintained a friends with benefits relationship that lasted for 1.5 years before he got into his current monogamous relationship. Whether you can stay friends with an ex depends on how and why your relationship ended. For me, our relationship ended because of just fundamental incompatibilities that meant we weren't good as romantic partners, but that didn't mean we couldn't be good friends. However, if a relationship ended because of toxicity or abuse, then I really wouldn't want to pursue any kind of relationship with them. To de-escalate a relationship, I highly recommend a period of no contact. For me, that lasted about 2 months. And in that time, you can process and grieve and mourn the relationship as it was separately. And then after that period of no contact, you can come back together and build something new. I think like having that time away means that you can start fresh, and that really helped me in my relationship. I also recommend the books Conscious and Coupling and the Polyamory Breakup book for this. Good luck! So this has been going viral on Twitter, and a bunch of you tagged me in this. So I guess I'm here to give my thoughts on it because, as funny as this is not how polyamorous breakups work. Polyamory isn't just one big group relationship where everyone is dating each other all the time as a unit. It's also individual relationships between pairs of people within a larger group. So when polyamorous breakups happen, it doesn't lead to the collapse of the whole network, just like if 2 of your friends stopped being friends. It doesn't lead to all of your friendships just randomly splitting up. It doesn't work like that. It's not like a game of the weakest link. Like, polyamory isn't a fucking game show. Like, what? If your partner is going through a breakup, my best advice is to ask them what they specifically need, because different people respond to grief differently. Some people want to go through it alone and process their feelings and withdraw from everyone for a little while, and some people want to be very social and talk it out with their friends and loved ones. Think about what you would do if your best friend was going through a breakup and how you would support them in their situation. It's kind of the same thing. And I think in this situation, it's very important not to take things personally. I think that can be very difficult to watch someone that you love grieve someone else that they love. And it can be very easy to project that onto yourself and think like, oh, what does this mean about our relationship? Will they grieve this hard if we broke up and that kind of thing? And it's very important not to center yourself because your partner is going through a very hard time. And what you can do is support them through that and be their partner through that. But also be aware of your own boundaries, I think. Don't sacrifice kind of absolutely everything to comfort them.